Managing Fatigue at Work, Strategies for Preserving Your Energy abstract. This article examines the widespread myth that endless work is virtuous by exploring the causes and costs of workplace fatigue. It draws on research that links overwork, lack of recovery time, poor self-care, and unbalanced workloads to burnout. Specific drivers of fatigue discussed include workload issues, insufficient breaks and offals, lack of control, unclear priorities, and individual traits. Recommendations are provided for organizations to manage workloads sustainably, support recovery, and foster a culture of well-being. Implementation examples focus on healthcare, technology, and education sectors, such as limiting overtime alerts, rotating flexible schedules, and allocating passion project time. The conclusion argues that respecting human energy limits, enabling recharging periods, and caring for employee wellness leads to higher performance and engagement over the long run compared to outdated models glorifying overwork. The great enemy of the truth is very often not the lie. Deliberate, contrived, and dishonest, but the myth, persistent, persuasive, and unrealistic. John F. Kennedy. Those words ring true when it comes to the persistent myth that relentless work is virtuous. In reality, overwork often backfires and leads to burnout. Today we will explore research on workplace fatigue and offer practical strategies for protecting personal energy levels at work. With a sustainable approach, both individuals and organizations can avoid the costs of exhaustion while still achieving great things. Understanding fatigue and its causes before proposing solutions. It's important to understand what leads to fatigue at work. Researchers have identified several root causes: workload issues, taking on too many tasks or responsibilities. When work never seems to stop, fatigue builds up over time. Working long hours on a regular basis. Most people cannot sustain 60-plus-hour work weeks without consequences to their well-being and performance. Lack of recovery time, not taking adequate breaks during the workday or work week. Even short breaks help recharge the brain and body. Insufficient time away from work. Weekends and vacation days allow complete mental and physical recovery. Psychological factors, unclear or changing priorities that lead to a constant state of reactivity. Not knowing what's most important is draining. Lack of control over workflow or schedule. Feeling like work is done to you rather than something you can influence increases stress levels. Individual traits, all or nothing personality types prone to overcommitting. Some people have trouble saying no and lack good self-awareness of limits. Lack of adequate sleep, exercise, healthy eating. These basic self-care behaviors fuel mental and physical resilience. By understanding these underlying drivers, leaders can craft better strategies to prevent and address fatigue at the individual, team, and organizational levels. The next section offers practical recommendations. Taking action. Strategies to safeguard energy levels to protect employees' energy and avoid burnout. Research indicates organizations should focus on 3 key areas: workload management, recovery support, and a culture of well-being. Workload management: set clear priorities and remove non-essential tasks from overextended teams and individuals. Continually evaluate workloads for feasibility. Encourage and role model taking breaks. Find ways to insert short breaks every 90 minutes during each workday. Limit work schedules to no more than 50 hours per week on average, with occasional exceptions for real deadlines. Overtime should not be routine. Recovery support: provide hybrid or flexible work arrangements where possible to allow employees to better manage work and personal responsibilities. Respect vacations as true time off. Discourage work communications like emails or phone calls during planned time away from the office. Offer wellness days or mental health days separate from vacation days for recharging as needed. Culture of well-being: train managers to identify signs of burnout and have constructive conversations about workload adjustments. Address issues early before they escalate. Promote organizations' employee assistance programs or similar well-being resources confidentially. Celebrate employees who role model good self-care and work-life balance. Leaders must walk the talk. These strategies are most impactful when embedded into formal policies and led from the top. Beyond policies, specific approaches can match the needs of different industries and job roles. Implementation examples across industries. This section focuses on applying anti-fatigue practices in healthcare, technology, and education organizations. Healthcare facilities use electronic medical record or scheduling systems to proactively alert managers to physicians, nurses, or other staff approaching overtime limits for patient safety. Pilot new nurse shift rotations and lengths that optimize coverage while minimizing long workdays that cause burnout over time for clinical roles prone to high fatigue. Launch an on-site fitness room and subsidized gym membership perk to actively support staff's self-care and ability to manage job stressors. Tech companies establish core working hours of 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. to facilitate breaks, errands, and family time around central work periods for focused collaboration versus late nights and weekends otherwise normal in high-pressure startup cultures prone to overwork. Rotate flexible work from home days throughout each month to allow recharging at home for mentally intense roles involving long stretches of deep work and problem solving. Allocate 20% of employee time to passion projects for renewing motivation to stay engaged versus burnout from constant deadline pressures and product launches. School districts limit after-school commitments for teachers like clubs, tutoring sessions, or committee meetings to no more than 2 evenings per week on average to avoid burnout given already long workdays and mental workload during school days. Provide mental health days off that do not need to be accrued from sick leave for teachers struggling with stress, trauma, or classroom challenges that impact well-being. Arrange quarterly substitute coverage of classes so teachers can observe fellow colleagues and get fresh perspective or mentor others to counter isolation factors known to drain educators. Conclusion: relentless work is an unsustainable and often counterproductive approach, despite popular beliefs to the contrary. By managing workloads, supporting recovery, and cultivating well-being, organizations can retain engaged and productive employees over the long run. While specific tactics vary by industry and role, the overarching principles of respecting human energy limits, enabling recharging, and caring for whole-person wellness play an important part in any high-performing and ethical workplace culture. It's time to retire outdated myths of overwork and progress to a smarter approach valuing personal sustainability alongside business goals. With research-informed strategies and leadership commitment, companies can achieve great outcomes while also protecting their most valuable resources, their people.